The state program created and sustained by the state called the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve was established by the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, which was an act of Congress which is an arm of the state. Legal tender laws require firms to accept dollars for all debts, and these are enforced by the state. The Federal Reserve, quote, is not owned by anyone and is not a private, profit-making institution. Instead, it is an independent entity within the government, having both public purposes and private aspects, close quote. And this is according to the Board of Governors of the something. The Federal Reserve exists because of the state. It would not exist without a state. It is not a private entity. The Federal Reserve is allowed to print money that you are forced to accept. The Fed doesn't actually print it, the Department of the Treasury does at the behest of the Fed, which makes sense because the Federal Reserve is an entity within the state created by and supported by the state and functions as an arm of the state and is not a private entity. The money is backed by nothing but is used because of state-made and state-enforced legal tender laws. The Federal Reserve was lobbied for by the Rockefellers and the Morgans. David Rockefeller owned Chase National Bank, which is now called J.P. Morgan Chase. Certain banks are allowed to borrow from the Fed at a discount rate, which as of this writing is between 0% and 0.25%. These banks then loan it out at a higher rate than that. There are plenty of other folks who do a great job dissecting the origin and exploitation of the Federal Reserve, and only Keynesian mystics and ignoramuses support it anymore.